So when we trade in currency markets, we can trade in a number of different maturities at any given point in time. If we want to instantly get our currency, we can trade in something called the spot market, and then we settle within 2 days exchange of one currency versus another. But we can also decide today to transact at some point in the future with the party, and that is the forward market or the futures market. And we're agreeing today in the forward market to transact at some point in the future. And the interesting thing is that the price in the spot market can and is often different than the price observed for the same currency pair in the forward or futures market. And that begs the question, how different are these two? And a forward discount or a forward premium quantifies that difference. Suppose, for example, that the spot rate, the exchange rate today of $1 for 1 British pound is 1.5813 US dollars for every Great British pound. And note that we're dealing with 4-digit level precision at this point. That's often the case with currencies because currencies tend to move so minutely on any given day. We may only, with exception, we may only see a change in currency values by like this much on a single day. So it depends on what currency we're looking at, but oftentimes we're using a very high level of precision. So 1.58 USD per pound, that's the spot market. And in the forward market, we have 1.5546 USD per British pound. And so the British pound is actually buying fewer USD on the forward rate than it is in the spot market. And so we say that in that case, we can just look at this and say that the British pound is trading at a forward discount because it's buying fewer USD. It's less strong in the forward market as it is in the spot market. And elsewhere, we've seen that is often due to interest rate differentials between the two countries. But for now, let's just take a look at calculating the percentage forward premium or discount that we're looking at here. The formula for that is going to be the spot rate minus the forward rate divided by the forward rate. So it's really just the percentage difference between these two. I think personally, the real trick in determining a forward premium or discount is just keeping track which is a premium and then which is a discount. For example, we plug in these numbers here. We take the spot rate and then subtract the forward rate of USD per British pound. This number is equal to 0.017, or in other words, 1.7%. And we see that this is a positive number. And so the question is this a forward premium or discount? And it really depends on what currency you're looking at. And so my advice in figuring out these problems is to think about what currency we're really talking about. Are we talking about the USD, or are we talking about the forward premium or discount on the British pound? And if we use logic to look at these two rates here and just notice that the British pound here is buying more USD and the British pound in the forward market is buying less USD, then I can see logically that this is a weaker currency in the forward market versus stronger, and I'm saying specifically the currency is British pound, in the spot market. So the British pound is trading weaker in the forward market. And if this is the percentage difference, I can say that this is a 1.7% discount, a weaker percentage difference between these two for the British pound. We could likewise say that this is a premium for the USD. We just have to be aware of which currency we're talking about when we say forward premium or discount. And then the one thing I left out here is that forward rates always have a specific maturity attached to them. So some forward rates are short-term in nature. They may have a short maturity and expire in a month. Others are long-term in nature, and they may expire a year or even 5 years out into the future. So maturity matters when we're talking about forward rates. Let's say this forward rate that we're looking at here is a 90-day forward contract. So today is today. We're agreeing about the rate that we're going to buy or sell foreign currency 90 days out from now. And when we talk about forward discounts or forward premiums, these are often annualized numbers in practice. So to really get our final answer for this, it's not going to be the 1.71%. It's going to be what that is annualized. And if this is a 90-day forward contract, then we can take this percentage difference that we've been given and scale it up to an annualized number by using the ratio of the number of days in a year relative to the maturity of this contract. And I realize that the number of days in a year isn't actually 360 days, but sometimes by convention, the forward contract will be annualized by either 360 or 365. So it just depends. But as far as homework, they'll give that to you. They'll tell you to specify. They'll specify either 360 or 365 for what they want you to use. But scaling that 1.71%, we get the answer of 6.86%. And this is our annualized forward premium, or in this case, discount on the British pound. And just for clarity, let's take this and kind of use some numbers that are backwards. Let's say that the spot rate is what it is, but the forward rate is different. Let's say the forward rate is actually bigger in magnitude than the spot. So we've still got a maturity of, say, 90 days, but and the spot rate is still 1.58. But our forward on the USD per British pound is now 1.90 per 1 British pound. And so that's kind of different than what we were looking at previously. Here, the British pound is buying more USD in the forward market than it is in the spot market. And so in this case, we know that the British pound is trading stronger, buying more USD in the forward market than it is in the spot. So we kind of know ahead of time that our answer here, whatever number we get, whether it's negative or positive, if we're talking about the British pound is trading at a forward premium because it's trading stronger in the forward market than it is the spot. As to how much, we can still use that same formula, spot minus forward divided by forward. And then we still want to annualize this 90-day forward contract into an annual figure. But this new number is no longer positive. We have minus 16.77% for this forward premium or discount. And then annualized or multiplied by 4 here, with minus 67% on an annualized basis. So these are quite large numbers, but you see that switch signs. So it's negative. Does this mean a discount or does it mean a premium? Really, to answer that with any conclusivity, we should just look at the logic. We see the British pound buys more in the USD in the forward market. It buys less in the spot market. So the British pound is trading stronger at a premium in the forward market. And so this negative number, that means it's a 16.77% premium for the British pound. and a 16.77% discount if we're talking about the USD. It just depends on what side we're talking about. Annualized, it's this really massive 67%.